Find the inverse of the log or natural log function. I threw 4 examples up here. I'm not sure how long it'll take to go through these, but I feel like this can be a quick process. Now remember, anytime we find the inverse, our first step is let's just switch the x and the y. So we're going to rewrite this as x equals log base 2 of y. Right now we're in log form, so if we get this out of log form into exponential form, then we can have a good idea of what it's going to look like. So identify the base. It's log base 2, so that's the base in our exponential form. Exponent comes from the other side of the equal sign, so 2 to the x power. And then it equals whatever we were taking the log of, so it equals y. Now in this case we actually have solved for y. You know, if we wanted to make it really pretty, we could just say y equals 2 to the x power. And that is the inverse of y equals log base 2 of x. So this would be our answer. Now our next example, switch the x and y. So x equals the natural log of y plus 4. Now if we are working on getting that y by itself, we may have some extra stuff happening where this plus 4, let's get that to the other side first. So we will subtract 4 from both sides. We have x minus 4 equals the natural log of y. We can put this into exponential form. What we want to remember, anytime we have a natural log, that base is always going to be e. So we take our base of e, raise it to the exponent. Now the exponent comes from the other side of the equal sign, so it's actually that entire x minus 4. And then it equals whatever we were taking the natural log of, which is y. Again, just to make it prettier, y is equal e to the x minus 4. If we were to graph that, we would say that it has a horizontal shift to the right 4 spots, so that's what that looks like. Next example, log base 4 of x minus 1. Switch x and y to start off with. So log base 4 of y minus 1. Now, because in with the y, you know, this is all in parentheses, so we can't touch this. We're going to leave that as it is. Let's get this out of log form. So we take our base, identify the base is 4, raise it to the exponent, which comes from the other side of the equal sign, so 4 to the x power. And it's going to equal whatever we were taking the log of, which is this entire y minus 1. Now, this is what we have, and we have to just solve for y, so the last step of just adding 1 to both sides leaves us with y equal to 4 to the x power, and then minus 1. And that minus 1 would give us a vertical shift down 1 spot. Alright, last example. Switch the x and the y, so we're looking at x equals log base of 1/3 of y. Take this out of log form, so we identify the base as the 1/3. Raise it to the exponent, which comes from the other side of the equal sign, so 1/3 to the x power, and this will equal whatever we were taking the log of, which is y. So our final answer, y equals 1/3 raised to the x power. So some of these are pretty straightforward. Some of them are a little bit tricky with the plus and the minus, but definitely things we can handle.